Why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
That's actually so true.
The idea of America to our people is a better future.
I mean, this is true. I respect this guy.
This was our land. All this is stolen.
Who is that resonating with?
We're gonna talk to you.
These are the types of people who are like, they want something to happen so that they can cause violence.
I just want everybody to be safe, not kidnapped.
Do you think there needs to be laws here in the United States?
Well, yeah, but Trump is intentionally violating people's due process. So, like, kidnapping is not an unjustifiable representation of what's happening. Bro, how the fuck are you gonna show up to the protest with an electric razor scooter and then try to act like a tough guy?
Do you think they're deporting the worst of the worst, or do you think they're just taking anybody and anybody?
I think they're taking anybody and everybody and trying to label them as worst of the worst so that they can have a performative political win.
Do you feel like you guys are accomplishing your purpose out here today?
I don't know who you are, man. I'm not talking to you.
That's probably the best response that you can give these people. I mean, they are accomplishing something. They are there. They are making noise. So I think all of it is productive? Obviously not. But people are feeling frustrated and they're only willing to put up with so much before they knock back. All right, let's get this going. I'm a little curious about what's going on with the LA riots. You know I've been kind of quiet about it because I think I'm like burnt out on just this administration's strategy. Like, let's be absolutely real. It is just a constant pumping of emotionally charged outrage information into our politics since the second he stepped into office. Even before that, it has just been constant. And you can criticize Biden all you want, but like, it was calm, and this is not calm. And it's like a controversy every day. There's a promise every day. It's actually insane. We started with, there's like 1,000 promises made this year and none of them took. I think this is just the strategy. We're gonna end what's going on in Russia, Ukraine. That didn't happen in any capacity. In fact, both countries are disrespecting Trump at this point. We got the whole signal chat thing. We're going to cut taxes for billionaires. They're talking about Medicaid and Medicare getting cut. There's talks about Social Security getting cut. Elon Musk and Trump had a big falling out where Musk said that Donald Trump was on the Epstein list, which makes sense because Trump once said Epstein was a really good guy. And there's just so much. And I think that this is just the new manufactured outrage to get you kind of worked up and to distract you from, the big bombshell that Elon Musk dropped. Because... And to also make it seem like they're doing something effective. Nothing has been effective. Nothing has been effective. Right? He didn't do anything with the tariffs. That was just a fucking mess. In fact, was there a scandal? There was like a scandal with that as well. Like he implemented massive tariffs. His stock market tanked, and a bunch of people around him, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, invested, and then it inflated once he decided to rescind most of them anyway. And I think this is just supposed to be another like manufactured outrage, but also a virtue signal. Be like, look, we're doing something. Even though, what are they really doing? They're going to what? High schools, places of business. They're calling people in that are promised, like they're illegal. People that are here that are illegal, but they're calling them in. When they're doing check-ins, they're told that they could stay here as long as they do regular check-ins. They're calling them in to do check-ins early just to arrest them. It's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Breaking the promises of America. Like, hey, good job. That's making us great again by destroying our word. That's all this is, man. And so like this being overly like pressing his hand is another strategy from Trump to make it seem like he's doing something. But frankly, I think people are starting to wake up. And I think the most fundamental thing that people should look at is like, I understand that there is turbulence between Democrats and Republicans, and you could blame each side for different things and yada, 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 yada. But at the end of the day, Trump's presidency is full of controversy, and really Biden's wasn't. It was boring. It was calm. It was unentertaining. He got a few bills passed. He could work with both sides. Right, like he got the CHIPS Act passed to build more technology here for national security reasons. He got massive infrastructure bills passed. He got a lot. He got some stuff done. He was able to work with both sides. Trump is ineffective to doing that, and that's important. And Trump understands the temperature, the political and the social temperature, and yet he still decided to pull this stunt. So that's why I haven't really been like super charged up about it, because I'm just like, holy fuck, again. But I'm curious about what's going on. And this is a video from Nick Shirley. Los Angeles has fallen. Anti-ICE protesters take over the city. Also, the whole violence, all the violence going on. Obviously, violence isn't good and it shouldn't happen. But also, like, again, Trump knew this would be the response. This is what he wanted to happen. That's why he overstepped his hand, because he wanted this to happen, to be a distraction.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
Damn. I also feel bad for the police and ICE because I feel like they don't want to be doing this, like overplaying their hand or overstepping as well, and they're put into a position where like it's their job, and sometimes you got to do shit you don't want to do, you know.
This is our city!
Oh my God, it's Andy Milonakis.
And this was Mexico! You can't kick us out of the land that was ours!
Oh, well, I think not to be that guy, but the key word here is it was.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids. The past few days have been wild here on the streets of LA.
Wow. I will say, you know, I appreciate everybody's heritage, but it is interesting that you are waving the flag of the country you don't want to go back to. You know what I mean? It comes off as a little silly.
Cars have been burnt, intersections have been taken over. Local and state officials are not happy with what's going on with the federal government. The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now. ISIS came through here down in LA. The streets are erupting here. Let's see what's going on. The National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now. Right here on this federal building, you have words like F-ICE, revolution starting here, here for my family, all sorts of stuff. Right.
I mean, I could appreciate that. There's probably a lot of immigrants in LA, and like some of them are probably undocumented, illegal, whatever you want to call them, but they still love their family. And you know what? If I was Hispanic, I would fucking break in here too. If I was Hispanic, if I was anything, I would fucking come to America illegally as soon as possible. I would try the legal pathway, but I would come here illegally as fuck. I feel like we need to at least acknowledge that. Everybody's like, "Oh, we shouldn't be here," but but if it was me, I would be here. I would be here illegal as well. In America, why do you think people are breaking in, dude? Nobody breaks into jail. Okay, they only break into femboy hooters. That's where I'm trying to be. So, I mean, listen, I take it a little bit like, oh, that's nice that you want to break into, you know, our country. That's pretty cool. And then plus they want to work. It's like somebody broke into your house and they start cleaning your floors. It's like, I'm chill on that. It's like, all right, it's scary, but my floors are fucking dirty as hell. So.
Right here you have the National Guard. They've come through. You have troops, about 300 in different directions. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's groups of 300 sent around the city right here. And this one is outside of the federal building here at one of the ICE detention centers here in LA. What's your message to the National Guard here today?
The National Guard.
And why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
That's actually so true. That's kind of true. Like our president has a team of advisors, and collectively they're not stupid. He knows what actions that he engages in will have what results. He knew this was going to happen. There was a better way to do all this. Like Obama, look, if you see Obama's deportation numbers, they're insane. How many riots were there? There were none. You want to say some of it's Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, but also a lot of it is just that he's not handling the situation sensitively. It's a country of 330 million people. You know, as annoying as it is, you kind of have to be sensitive to those people. You know what I mean? It's like Trump basically is breastfeeding in public, except he's just not wearing. He's not wearing the titty bib. He's just like, look at my big fucking titties, bitch, and he's just showing his tits off. And like, I will obviously glance at a woman breastfeeding in public. I'm like, what the hell are those? Because the nipples, they get long, and it's like, what the fuck is that? What is that? The cinnamon sticks guy on the Apple Jacks box? But you should probably put that away. Some people are going to be a little like, what the hell? I'm not saying don't breastfeed in public. I'm just saying maybe they try to be a little, maybe try to fucking cover up. It's a little strange. You know what I'm saying? So something to keep in mind.
What fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through here in Los Angeles?
I don't fear that motherfucker. Have you seen our community? I don't feel that motherfucker.
There ain't none of fear Donald Trump. Homeboy on a motherfucking real that piece of shit.
What's the water for?
Diffuse tear gas. If needed. Yeah. If you throw a canister in one of these, it should diffuse it enough, or at least stop the chemical reaction.
What makes you want to come out here with the Honduras flag out here?
I mean, these are my roots right here, you know? This is where my family came from. I'm a first gen.
A lot of people wonder on social media, why are people...
I mean, that makes sense too. Like, I'm like, what, fucking fourth generation? So I don't really have too much I don't really have too much loyalty to fucking Germany, you know what I mean?
Coming out here with other nationalities' flags. If they don't like America, why don't they go back to
I love America and what it represents. You know, the idea of America to
I think it's beautiful.
our people is a better future and an opportunity to have a job and create something that in our homes we don't have, you know? So
I mean, this is true. I respect this guy.
we love America. We want to be here. We want to contribute, you know? And I agree. The people that have committed crimes and, you know, like an actual crime of, you know, murder, something like that, I can agree with that, you know?
Yeah. I don't think that being here is considered a crime. It's considered like a civil offense. Like if you're being here undocumented, it's a crime to like, cross the border illegally. But a lot of these people are here on like overstayed visas, right? Something to keep in mind as well.
I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, no, keep everybody here.
Yeah.
But the people who are here, hardworking people.
Right now, do you think it's right for them to go after the most dangerous people like they say they're doing?
I mean, I don't see nobody here has attacked them. And they initiated all of this. We're peacefully protesting. They're the ones that come out with riot shields. They come out with billy clubs and all kinds of shit. I don't know who's the aggressor here, but it ain't us.
You! I can't wait to know you!
Oh, it sounds like they're going to make friends.
Take off your badge, big boy!
Oh, okay. Maybe this is not a friendly situation.
Take off your badge! Coward! Get that shit in my fucking face!
Okay. That guy's yelling at the ICE officials for being a coward for wearing a mask. Meanwhile, he also has a mask on. What's your
That is true.
message to the police officers in the National Guard right now?
They've got a choice. They don't have to do this fucking shit. That's it.
They don't, but like I think as frustrating as the situation is, it hasn't quite gotten to the point where like police officers and ICE agents are going to be like, all right, we're going to have to betray our orders and shift everything around. We're not quite there yet where it's like, okay, I have to make a decision. You know, they're not gunning down civilians in the streets. Right now, I like to think that there's a lot of people, like a lot of ICE agents and everything, that are probably frustrated with doing what they have to do because they know that it's like a little ridiculous. But like they're gonna be like, okay, I still have to follow my orders because they're not that far over the line where it's like, you know, where I'm gonna stop doing what I'm doing now. And I'm sure some of them are loving it and they're having a lot of fun, I guess. But you know, we're not quite there yet.
They can either be American citizens or they can be what they're doing right now.
Wow. That's a little ironic, but
You don't think they're acting like as American citizens?
No.
Do you think they're trying to protect the country or make it a more dangerous place?
I think that people, I for sure think that the people who are working for these agencies, they're trying to protect the country, even if I don't necessarily agree with this being the way to protect the country.
What do you mean? Like, this is way, way beyond what it needs to be.
Something's about to break out real soon. If these people keep taunting the police officers with all these other flags, all these other words they're saying to these police officers and National Guard, something's about to happen.
You guys suck! Christy Lewis,
Should just
you
say
guys
suck.
suck! Donald Trump! Fuck you!
I can tell you're very upset.
Of course we are. Yeah. We feel some burning in the eyes right now upon arrival here. Everybody be prepared. We still fight for the legalization of all in occupied territories. This was indigenous land. This was Mexico. This is our fucking turf.
It was, and now it ain't no more.
These motherfuckers. Free them all!
Stolen people on stolen land! Black people were stolen! And it was taken from the indigenous! Stolen people on stolen land!
What's your
I just, I don't know, man. It's silly because, like, I understand that that's kind of the way things were back in the day, and like, okay, stolen land. But at the end of the day, like, everybody was doing this shit. We just happen to be better. You know what I mean? We just have, not even we, because I didn't even fucking do it, you know? I'm not fucking English. But we just happen to be better at it. Fuck, I'm fucking up. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be an asshole, but...
message to ICE and to the federal government today?
Just the message just straight up is just this government is fucking corrupt as fuck. People need to fucking start realizing that shit. And fucking, we need a fucking factory reset. We need some justice up in here. Just for everybody. Straight the fuck up, you know what I mean?
You have lots of tattoos, and people oftentimes interpret tattoos with being part of a gangs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm focused on some other shit right now. I'm not worried about that, though.
You're not worried about that? No. So essentially all that's happening right now is that ICE, police, DHS, and the National Guard are just holding a line here outside this federal building. Protesters haven't gone back at the police quite yet. We'll see what happens. Could be happening very soon.
This was our land! All this is stolen!
It's so stupid. I don't think that the whole, this was our land. I really just don't, like, who is that resonating with? You know, I mean, like, I like the other guy. The other guy was like, listen, we're here because we're here. We're here because we want a better fucking future, man. Like, hey, we're just chilling. You know, so we came here illegally. We love what this place represents, yada, 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 etc. Okay, I respect that. Hey, this is stolen land. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What's your point? This is stolen land. What's your point? Like, what are you talking about?
And what? Now we're fucking illegal here. We're gonna die.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're not fighting for. You're not fighting for this country. We're gonna dox you.
We're gonna dox you?
We're gonna dox you.
This is so stupid. These are the people that like just this. These are the people. Because I definitely am very sympathetic to what's going on. But these are the types of people who are like, they want something to happen so that they can cause violence. They're like, oh yeah, look, there's a problem with some people that are illegal, getting taken out that don't deserve to be taken out. Okay, wait, we're gonna dox you. It's like, okay, it looks like you're just looking for an excuse.
We're gonna dox you. I love this flag right here.
You just said you love that flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
What colors?
What's the purpose of bringing out the Mexican?
I love the colors too, guys. I love all the colors.
Mexican flags today here while we are in the United States?
Honestly, I have no idea, bro. I just came here to just show out. That's it, bro.
Do you think it's low-key like, all right, if you want to rep your flag, go back to your country kind of vibe, or do you think people are just upset with what's going on?
I don't.
No, I think that it's part of being American to an extent. Is, you know, it depends on what you're doing it for. I mean, like the guys, some of those people are just like, oh, it's stolen land, then you're just doing that to be annoying. But if you're somebody waving the flag, you're like, hey, my family's here, like we love it here, but we also have like we also love we love what our old country represents. We're here because we love what this country represents. I think that that's perfectly fine.
I don't know, honestly, like, it's true, you know, like, we did come, but, like, I don't know, bro, just, they're here already, they don't want to leave.
Why are they protesting what's going on here in the United States if they don't want to go back to their country?
Because they think it's stolen land, so they think they could just come in here, you know, and take over.
Then this guy right here is essentially taunting National Guard right here, saying National Guard, LOL. Meanwhile, National Guard is right there with their troops. The lawyers have arrived.
Yeah.
What are you guys here to do?
We don't
They're there to loy, baby. They're there to loy.
talk to press. I'm sorry.
Okay, and what's your guys' job here to do?
I mean, that's fair. I mean, it makes sense that they would be there to just kind of observe what's going on, take note of it legally, potentially represent people whose rights are not being handled properly, whether they're illegal or not. People have rights in America. That's part of being America, is that we don't dehumanize people even if they are not citizens. That's kind of the point. It's a great American experiment. We kind of exist as America to defend, you know, people who maybe can't defend themselves. It's the whole point of the country. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, if you disagree, then I mean, I think maybe you don't belong in America, regardless of whether you're legal or not.
Legal observers with the National Lawyers Guild, so we're a third party. Yeah.
So if the protesters say they touch a police officer or one of the members of the National Guard, who's at fault? If they then detain
probably them for touching them, but they're not going to be here to represent the police. The police get plenty of help, so.
We don't. Just look up National Guard.
So the people with the green hats, they essentially watch to see if law enforcement does anything that they could then go and sue them for.
Yes.
So who knows who they get paid by? However, their job is to make sure that if a protester does get detained, they get all the name, info, so that they can go and file a lawsuit as they're part of the National Lawyers Guild.
Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. The police officers get an immense amount of tax dollars so that they can have complete protection. I mean, do you think that guy who shot in a journalist from, like, what is it, Australia, with a fucking rubber bullet? Do you think that they're going to face like legal consequences? Like, yeah, the police get a robust lawyers, and it's so funny because, like, everything going on at the LA riots would just not be happening if Trump wasn't such a greedy dick, right? I mean, under the Biden administration, Republicans proposed a bill that would have done phenomenal amounts of work for the border. It would have put lots of money there, more people on the ground, better technologies, more lawyers, more judges to go through these cases of people who come here on asylum seeking, that to parse through their case to see if they're actually here justifiably. It takes years to go through these cases. So they come in, they seek asylum, they get put into America, they're on like a, hey, show up, yada, yada, yada. Sometimes they don't show up to a date. Republicans wanted to put more money at the border, and it would have been great. And Democrats were ready to vote yes. And then Trump said, no, pull that bill, because he wanted to run on the border. Okay, that bill would have done a lot. Was it perfect for both sides? No, that's called a compromise. And so, like, that's what should have done in the first place. None of this would have happened. Again, there's a constant pattern of Donald Trump encouraging the issue of illegal immigration and then utilizing it as almost like a pawn, as like another chess piece, because he's under controversy because Elon Musk exposed him for being on the fucking on the Epstein, the Epstein list, because Trump wants to pass a massive bill that will increase the deficit while cutting taxes for billionaires. It's all just a chess piece. And I know politicians do this, but this one is probably the most shameful fucking chess piece that I've ever really seen. It's not even trying to hide itself.
And a lot of people wonder who funds that group with the green hats. Is it George Soros or is it some other outside organization?
Who gives a fuck if it's George Soros?
Nobody really knows.
What are you, JQing? Who cares if it was George Soros? If George Soros wanted to give people the money to hire lawyers, who gives a fuck? It just is a weird... That's a weird, like, dog whistle, especially since so far this video's been pretty solid. I like the general representation of it. It's just like, why do the George Soros dog whistle?
We got this group right behind me gathering right now. They're all masked up. They're in a circle. Looks like they're planning to do something. You're here talking to
Sure.
National Guard. What's your message to them today?
I'm just asking this dude to think, you know. I was just talking to this guy, asking him, if they give you the order to shoot, are you gonna do it? He wouldn't look me in the eye. It took a while, but he told me no eventually. None of these people want to be here. This captain looks sad as fuck. Look at this captain, bro.
I mean, I'm sure that's true. Who really wants to be surrounded by a bunch of people who fucking hate them? You know what I mean? I don't know, probably a CEO that pays a woman to step on his balls. But outside of that, nobody wants that.
Does not want to be here doing this. None of them want to be here doing this, and yet they are. They need to make their own fucking choices and think for themselves.
Would you like to see them disarmed in front of thousands of people?
I just want
disarm. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean attacked, or is that
the National Guard out of my city? I want people freed. I don't want to see any more kidnapping. I don't want to see any more ICE in our communities. I want to see tax dollars going to this.
Who would you like to protect the nation?
The people. I mean, all I care about is the people. I just want everybody to be safe, not kidnapped.
Do you think there needs to be laws here in the United States?
Well, yeah, but Trump is intentionally violating people's due process. So, like, kidnapping is not an unjustifiable representation of what's happening. Right? Like, we have to understand that. He's violating people's due process, so...
To regulate things like immigration?
Well, yeah, sure.
I think people need to not be kidnapped.
For instance, this is all caused because a lot of people did come to the country these past 4 years. Do you think there should be regulations with who comes across the border and how many come across?
Yeah, of course that there should be. Do you think that this is the right way to go, by violating people's due process, by exacerbating the problem, by knocking down a bill that could have helped solve this issue, just to turn around and cause a riot once it's convenient for you politically?
You know, I think whatever regulations there may or may not be, they're abducting people at court cases, right?
If somebody comes across the border without due process, do they deserve due process going out?
If somebody comes across the border without I don't understand what that means. Well, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't even know what the question means. If somebody comes here illegally, I do think that should be generally handled on a case-by-case basis by lawyers and courts and judges. And it doesn't need to. We don't have such a radically horrible problem that we need to have Donald Trump and the National Guard step in. I don't know. Like, what?
Yes, everybody deserves due process.
Now they're all moving. They're going to City Hall.
Like, everybody's calling people the KKK. This guy just calls him a bitch. I think that's funny.
Fuck LAPD. All these people right here taunting the police. Direct line in between them. More police are coming.
Fuck LA.
What do you guys say?
Bro, this is fucking bullshit, bro. They out here hurting innocent people. Fuck you, bitch.
The lady with the scarf right here, she was one of the people in that group that I was talking about earlier on in this video. Her and this guy right up here.
Are they like Palestine people? Like protesters? I don't understand. Is that maybe I'm just ignorant.
Causing all the chaos.
Fuck you, dude.
Need a mask, man.
I'm all good. What's the mask for?
I mean, shit. I mean, you know.
You're handing out the mask. Why are people having masks?
Probably to cover their face. I don't know.
And who do you think's in the wrong? Newsom or Trump right now? They're battling it out.
Trump, definitely.
He's in the right or wrong?
Wrong. Totally. Look at what's happening. I mean, clearly.
Yeah, he's overstepping his boundaries. Absolutely. Again, Trump knew this would happen, and the immigration problem isn't so bad that this needed to happen. So this was all by design.
What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Just keep the finger up.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess based.
There you go.
This guy's a little fucking bitch. No, this guy's a fucking. He's a fucking little white nationalist. F this guy. You're a little fucking bitch.
Don't touch the camera.
Fucking bitch. I know.
Hey.
You're a fucking bitch.
Okay. Whoa, they break the microphone. Tries to
I don't do anything. Get the fuck out of here. I know you fucking do. You fucking white nationalist motherfucker. How? I know who the fuck you are. You fucking Republican bitch.
Bro, you don't need to put it. This is one of them. They're gonna get it.
I don't give a. I'm fucking telling you his fucking.
I mean, I don't know if he's a white nationalist, but he certainly leans a little into the JQ stuff, but he seems fine.
Fucking little. I do. You're
Whoa, bad guy! Okay.
You know what the fuck you do?
What did I do?
You know you antagonize people? Oh, fuck your fucking bitch ass up.
I'm not doing anything.
Get the fuck.
I mean, if he does antagonize people, he doesn't really show it in his video. It's possible, but I doubt that he's like legitimately antagonizing anybody. He seems to be walking around asking pretty calm questions. Sometimes he gets a little JQ-y, I guess. But like, you need to talk to these people. You need to be able to have a constructive conversation with people who disagree with you and that aren't violent. So this isn't exactly helping.
Get out of here! Just like the cops. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, I have a right to be here just like you.
Yeah, so do we, motherfucker.
Okay, I'm not.
So why the cops here? You're a fucking cop. That's what you
I'm
fucking
not
are.
the cop.
Yeah, you are. You fucking
How am I a
asshole.
cop?
You want to fucking steal that shit?
Get out of here, bro.
What? I'm fucking cornered, you little bitch. Are you scared?
I'm not scared.
Oh my god.
What did I do?
You're a little fucking bitch. I fucking see you on fucking line. Always
Okay.
fucking antagonizing right-wing fucking
Why is he wearing a Goodfellas shirt?
ideology, motherfucker. This is our fucking land, you fucking bitch. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, if it is your land, you're doing a bad job controlling it.
I have a right to be here.
I don't give a fuck, not today. I'm the fucking police. I'm telling you not to be here, motherfucker.
Well, I want to be here.
Well, I'm fucking telling you not to be here. Get the fuck
Get
out
out of my way.
You towards the cops, you fucking
Get out of here.
little fucking
Oh my goodness. Keep saying bad words.
ass. I know you are, you fucking right-wing motherfucker. You're a little fucking bitch.
I have a right to be here just like you.
Well, I'm gonna be right next to you the whole fucking time.
Okay.
Fucking cries out.
Well, actually, I don't know that that's legal. You're just literally following him and harassing him. There's a difference between like filming and like, you know, which is what he's doing. He's generally filming versus following some dude around in a threatening manner. So this guy's actually incredibly stupid.
Do it. That guy's mad at me for being here. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to show what's going on here.
I mean, people like that are going to go around and like follow people. It just shows just a pure lack of like emotional regulation. And it's a point that people are just not going to respect it. You know, be there, protest, you know, speak out, be productive, be constructive. But if somebody's walking around who does lean more right wing and they're asking questions, even if they frustrate you, they seem to be perfectly constructive questions that give you an opportunity to speak. Following them and harassing them and just like engaging in a threatening presence, it's just not going to be productive. It's going to make people look at you and go like, "Oh, this is who these people are." Like all they do is they follow and harass people and ABC XYZ. It doesn't exactly help your cause here. It just makes your cause look more violent. And I imagine that 99% of the people there are like they're doing the right thing, and you're just destroying that by letting yourself be emotional. Like you're letting yourself be weak and emotional. So, you know, I don't know if he's there for the wrong reason. He might just be really worked up because he's more emotionally attached to the situation. I can appreciate that. But still, like, do you think that it's helping anybody with what he's doing? Do you think that he's being productive in the way that he's engaging?
I'm your personal bodyguard now, motherfucker.
Thank you.
You little bitch.
I didn't do anything to you, sir. Now the police are backing up. People have taken over the police from here. I just broke the windshield of the police. So it makes no sense. I understand why the protesters are out here today.
Maybe they should have had like a rock shield. That might have been a little more productive.
They're upset with ICE. The police are trying to leave though, and they won't let the police leave.
Is that a Hummerzine? Bro, how the fuck are you gonna show up to the protest with a fucking Razor scooter, an electric Razor scooter, and then try to act like a tough guy? You know, how come none of these fucking people that ever protest show up on a horse? Show up on a fucking horse, dude. Look like a badass. Show up on a horse. Look cool. I feel like the best thing that you can do is you could look cool. You know, you show up on a horse, you sit there, you smoke a cigarette. Roll it up yourself. Make your own rolled cigarettes and just smoke a cigarette. And just sit on a horse and just look like a fucking badass, you know? I feel like that would be pretty awesome. Damn, that guy missed the kick. What the hell was that, dude? He looked like... Dude, you want to know what this guy was doing? You guys ever get your balls stick together because it's hot out? This guy was pretending that he was going to kick it, but he was really just trying to kick the fucking... The ball stuck to his leg. Because you know how it is. So he's just trying to, like, gesture. Like, when you take that wide open step, like that long step, and then you do a little crouch down in between walls. Guys know what I'm talking about. He's just trying to, like... He's trying to get those things to, like, just separate. Because he would feel kind of weird, like, digging at his nutsack. I don't care. I'm getting older. But obviously he does. Damn, he's the walk of shame. Damn.
So watch. The police are trying to leave out of here. And watch what's going to happen to this police officer when he drives away.
Do you already know what is happening? What are you, fucking future reader? Oh, here's our blue sweatshirt guy again. Man, close your window, dude. Sorry, that wasn't funny. I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, I do feel bad for the cops. They're in this situation. They probably don't even want to be here. And now everybody's surrounded them and, like, fucking harassing them. And that guy just got fucking blasted, boy. Holy fuck. That's crazy. I'm sorry. Because even though I agree more with the protesters, this kind of shit is, like, fucked up and unproductive. And I feel bad for the police officers. And this is gonna be so stressful. I could never be a police officer because I'd just start fucking. I couldn't do it. I'd be so angry. That's fucking crazy.
The police
just so you guys know, those aren't rubber bullets. Those are actually T-shirts. He's shooting T-shirts at them. They say Free Palestine on them, so don't worry about it.
Been overtaken here on the streets. There's about 10 of them now here on the streets, and over 1,000 protesters are throwing waters at the police. Now the police are about to shoot.
Oh, we got fucking Razor Scooter over here. What the hell?
What's the deal? It's crazy out here, man.
Now look.
Why would you show your face? You stupid asshole.
I don't understand. The police are trying to leave, but people won't let them leave.
The police.
I know that everyone's saying F the police, but if the police are trying to leave, should they let them leave?
Yeah.
I understand that these people are upset, but the police are trying to leave. There's about 20 police officers now, but they're not letting them leave. And when they do leave, they're kicking the cars, throwing waters at them. They broke the windshield of one of these police officers. So I understand they're upset, but I don't understand why they won't let the police leave if they're trying to leave. Everyone's going back to the
Well, I think that part of it is that they're just trying to harass the police, you know? And even if they did leave, like, you know, they might be going somewhere else. I don't know. Not that they should be doing that. I'm not saying, like, oh, it's justifiable. I'm just saying, you know.
National Guard where the people are being detained right now. For those watching the video right now, am I right or wrong in having the opinion that if the police are trying to leave, the people should let them leave versus antagonizing them even more? You're kind of putting the police in a hard situation when they're trying to back out, leave the location.
I don't think that these people necessarily care about the police having been in a hard situation, you know? I think that's why they're there in the first place.
You're the one hitting back at the police, throwing stuff. So I'm confused. What should the police do? Should they be able to fight back, or should they just take the hits?
The police should act their wage and their benefits. You know, like that's the thing. You're a police officer. You're getting paid, especially in Los Angeles. You're getting paid. You're getting really good benefits. You should be getting good training, and like they should act accordingly to those things and try not to escalate. That's what the police should do. You know, there's going to be times where they need to fight back, where that guy shot that protester with a t-shirt cannon. But like, there's a little too much cuckery from this creator here. I think you're a little too police cucked. Well,
you get hit.
You already know, man.
Damn, that guy got fucked up. Well, because he learned a lesson on that one.
Hey, it's for a cause, you know what I'm saying? We out here.
Damn, he looks like fucking Tony Stark. Got that fucking thing removed from his chest.
Bro, as you can, man. You know what I'm saying? We man.
Wow, you took that hit right on the chest.
Oh, yeah, bro. I was just riding my scooter, like, you know what I mean? Just another day and just BAM!
Oh, wait, is this our scooter boy? Was this Scooter guy? It wasn't old Scoots.
Were you hitting the police or did you just get caught in the crossfire?
Man, I did something. I ain't gonna lie. I fucked shit up, so hey, this shit comes with a price in the end, you know what I'm saying?
Now, everyone has rushed back to the federal building. National Guard's out here, police back on that side, and thousands of people. Streets are filled. Now police are shooting. Shots are getting fired out here.
I always never mind. I was gonna make a stupid joke.
Look the other way, we're not fucking doing anything, goddammit!
National Guard has now been activated. They've left their spots. They're pushing everybody back. Holy crap! People are getting shot right now. They dropped the tear gas.
Damn, they should tear gas more like Ethan Klein gas. You guys get it because he coughs a lot. Oh, well, fuck me. I guess God didn't like that joke.
Got this guy out here shooting silly string at the police officer.
Well, you know what? He probably got that from fucking Party City. They closed recently, so he probably got the silly string from there. No shit. That's probably what. That's what I would have done. You get the silly string from Party City, 90% off. That was pretty good sale.
Shots are being fired. All sorts of stuff are happening right now here on the streets of LA.
You are the rioters! You are the rioters! Fuck you!
So these are what they're shooting at the protesters. There are these rubber bullets right here. These are powerful. They're coming out and they're ricocheting everywhere on the protesters. As a protester, do you feel like you guys are accomplishing your purpose out here today?
I don't know who you are, man. I'm not talking to you.
Wait, so what happened to this guy right here?
That's probably the best response that you can give these people.
He got hit with a rubber bullet.
I mean, they are accomplishing something. They are there. They are making noise. You know, they are showing like where people are at and what the acceptability is of certain actions and like certain overreaches by, you know, not violating people's due process. So like, yes, they are actually accomplishing something. Do I think all of it is productive? Obviously not. Do I think it's justifiable to engage in violence? Obviously not. But there are some people that feel pushed to violence. There's only so much oppression that people feel like they're going to be able to put up with before they act back. It's the same thing with the January 6th. I obviously, you know, that was a conspiracy that it was based on, but people are feeling frustrated and they're only willing to put up with so much before they knock back. So it's still productive. Yeah, Trump is going to continue overreaching. Yeah, he might, but this is still going to be something. You know, the more overreaching, the more it's going to happen. This is going to calm down soon. It's going to calm down soon once people, you know, forget that Trump was on the Epstein list. That's the whole goal. And then it'll kick back up once Trump needs to, you know, manufacture more outrage because, you know, he'll do something else stupid.
Donald Trump! Donald Trump!
Damn, the guys are saying they're going to assault Donald Trump. No.
Fascism! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente!
This is about hentai? What the hell?
Let our people free! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente! Let our people free!
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers if you have a
A fucking leaf blower. That's actually so funny.
fucking blower, bring it up! Push him back! We will not do 1992 again with your fucking tanks! I was 12 then! I'm 44 now! I will die for my fucking kids!
Damn, Eddie Milonakis really fell off.
And all of these young people out here are my fucking kids! Because I'm an LA native mom! These are my fucking children you're fighting! You! Major Bass, if you can hear me, expect my ass in your office on Monday for attacking my children! This is our
Did she say expect your ass in the office on Monday? What?
city, and this was Mexico! You can't kick us out of the land that was ours!
If you could say something to Donald Trump right now, what would you say?
Donald Trump! You can suck my left nut, you can get out of my fucking
Oh shit, she's trans too. Isn't that crazy?
You're just Mecca Salma Hayek wouldn't give you the time of day, bitch! And
That's actually kind of funny.
because Claudia Sheinbaum make you look like a fucking loser!
What do you mean by your sign?
I mean that like we all the power in this country comes from the people who established the republic. The streets are safe and secure because we decide not to make them unsafe, and like the way we're being treated on some level is as if we were captives in a concentration camp. We're innocent to prove
We're in our republic. We're not in their blue line Nazi camp. Okay.
Innocent until proven guilty. It's not like they can just drag people off the street just because they think that they're guilty. So.
With these deportations, they say they're deporting the worst of the worst. Do you think they're deporting the worst of the worst, or do you think they're just taking anybody and anybody?
I think they're taking anybody and everybody and trying to label them as worst of the worst so that they can have a performative political win. I think that's what it is. People deserve due process. It doesn't matter if you're here legally or not. How do you know if you're here illegally if you don't get due process? It doesn't make any sense.
I just think they're taking anybody and everybody. I live over by a Home Depot, and they were just like dragging guys off the street who were trying to earn a day's work. You know.
And what would you like to see them do with these deportations?
Well, I mean, if there are criminals,
I would have liked it if they actually implemented solid policy that would have avoided this entire controversy in the first place. But Trump knocked it down so we could run on the border and utilize it as a political weapon.
and they're found to be doing crimes, and they are illegal immigrants, and they should be like charged or tried in a court of law and maybe deported.
Earlier, the police were trying to leave today, but the protesters weren't letting them leave. What should the police do in that case if the protesters are not letting the police leave if they're trying to go to a different location?
What do you want him to say? Like, it's so weird because, like, obviously the idea there is, what do you want them to do? They should act their fucking paycheck and do what they need to do and de-escalate to the best of their ability. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I'm not sure. I saw videos, people trying to get in front of the trucks. I think on some level that's like just creating, compounding the problem. I think like if they're going to drive away, just kind of let them drive away. I don't think that like forcing them to stay is necessarily like the best thing. Cause
I don't think that's like an unreasonable take to like if the police are leaving, let them leave.
Yeah, let them go. Yeah,
keep pushing back at them.
They're just going to be like hurting people and like running them over with their cars and like, yeah.
And you're wearing a mask. Why are so many of these protesters out here wearing masks?
Just in case of the legal implications.
Meanwhile, a lot of people are saying these ICE agents.
I mean, especially if they work a job, like this guy probably works a job. He might potentially face backlash if they see his face, which is something that shouldn't happen, but sometimes it'll happen. So I think that some people are doing it so they can justify violence. Some people are doing it just to make sure that they protect themselves.
Just need to take off their mask.
Yeah, well, in part it's like because of the Fourth Amendment gives me the right to be secure in my person and property and my personhood, and so that's part of the reason because I have the right. The Constitution acknowledges my right to be masked in public whenever I want to.
Should ICE agents stay masked or should they go unmasked?
Who?
I mean, that's a good question. I think it depends on what's going on. If they don't need the mask, then they shouldn't mask. I mean, these are the people they work. This is their job. They shouldn't be able to mask unless it's necessary. Like if they feel like it's necessary, even if they feel like they're afraid of COVID, that's a justifiable reason. Or if they're afraid of tear gas, sure, they can mask for that reason. But like, I mean, what's the question? Should they be able to mask productively or should they be able to hide their identity? Those are ICE agents. I don't think that they should necessarily be able to hide their identity. Although I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Because if they don't hide their identity, some of these crazy fucks might try to like identify them. But then again, they already have their name on their name tag, right? But
ICE agents.
No, they need to be unmasked and with their name, a large identifying nameplate visible.
Yeah, I mean, well, that makes sense, especially since, like, that one guy that shot the fuck out of that reporter for absolutely no reason. It would probably be good for them to have identification. So if they look at the video, it can be like, oh, that's, such and such.
Because they're public servants, they don't have a right to the constitutional rights. They don't have the right to the First, Fourth, Fifth. None of those amendments apply to them. They only apply to citizens, not the state.
Is that true? Wait, I don't think that's true, but I do think that, I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure that they have to make sure that they properly identify themselves. But that doesn't sound true overall. But I think that since they're working, they have to identify themselves at all times.
All four entrances of this intersection, protesters have surrounded it. Now police are coming in on all angles right now.
Why have your windows down? You know these people are fucking being annoying. I really don't understand why, like, police cars don't have farts in them. Like, police do be farting all day. So imagine you collected all those farts, and then when there's a protest, you just release a fart stink, and everybody just disperses. Like, come on, dude. Do I have to, like, make all these inventions for you? Like, you guys are so stupid. Like, grow up. Guys, grow up. Why aren't you farting everywhere? What the hell is the matter with you? It's so interesting because like you'll see like Gavin Newsom like talk about how it's under control. And then people go like, look at this scene. This is not under control. And like, whether you want to hear this or not, this is under control. Like, under control doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means like, hey, we know that people are stupid and some of them are committing different violences. And so we have a police presence there. And that presence is positive, regardless of what some people will tell you. A police presence is a positive, productive thing. And there is some violence, but we generally have it in check. And we're allowing people to have productive protests while also trying to punish those who are being unproductive in their protest. And we are monitoring the situation. You know, being in control doesn't mean that everything stops immediately, right? Like if you're a Trump supporter, you believe Trump has control of the country, but then you also know that there are issues within the country that aren't perfect, but you still think he has control. Being in control isn't perfect. So like, yeah, Gavin Newsom generally is in control. I think that these protests can be unproductive at times, but like being in control isn't about being perfect. It's like if a fucking hurricane wipes out a town and it's like, okay, we're going to call in FEMA, blah, 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 blah. We got people on the ground. Things are in control, even though there's been damage. Like we are controlling the situation to the best of our ability to control this situation. And it's just so interesting because people are like, no, it's not perfect. It's like, nothing is perfect. Okay. If you're in control of your kids, but they fucking, you know, jack off in a movie theater, you know, you're still in control of your kid. You know, you just need to smack them and say, tell them to wait till they get home or something, you know? That wasn't something that happened to me when I was a kid. Okay. I obviously did not go to the movie theater. And went with my mom when I was a kid and like see the Star Wars movie, and then I wanted to watch it again because I was like, oh, Natalie Portman, like she's dating she basically groomed a minor. Like I wish that was me. Then I got older and realized that it's bad. But you guys remember that one scene where she gets scratched by that monster when she's in that fucking combat arena and it like perfectly cuts her crop top off? Don't tell me that your little fucking don't tell me that didn't get you. Don't tell me that didn't get you. I don't know how we got to an eBay site, but like, dude, are you telling me she got perfectly scratched and cut that shit up? That was fucking crazy, dude. That didn't do anything for anybody else? Come on. Dude, I wasn't edging in the movie theater, okay? I was young. I fucking blew Wait, it wasn't about me. Never mind.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police. They were throwing...
What are they, I'm Alex?
They were throwing bricks at the police officers, shattered the back of the police officer's car. Now they're taking open fire here in the streets.
Damn, they're shaming them. Is anybody walking around naked? That's crazy. I'd go then.
Looks like the National Guard. They're nowhere to be seen right now. It's just LAPD right now here in the streets.
Nazis! Nazis! Why are you fucking shooting people?
I know, it's so, again, I feel bad for the people who are getting, you know, unlawfully detained and not given due process, but I do feel bad for these police officers. Because, like, you know that a lot of police officers, they joined their job because they wanted to, like, do the right thing. You know, because they wanted to do the right thing. They wanted to protect the serve. I'm sure there's also plenty of them that did it because they got C's in high school and they wanted to just be, you know, authoritative dickheads. But I think a lot of them mean well. And then they're getting called Nazis because, like, they're given an order. They're told, like, hey, you have to do this right now. And everybody's calling them a fucking Nazi. I feel bad for them.
Just when you think it could get more crazy, the madness just continues.
If there are any in the LAPD, I haven't met them. Really? You know, meet any nice LAPD officers? I know some nice police officers. You know, they're not too bad.
Here on the streets of LA. Now you have a big group of people all sitting down in front of the police. This is a repeat of 2020 here on the streets of LA.
Damn, imagine somebody DoorDashes in the middle of this fucking thing. Isn't that fucking crazy? Imagine somebody like legitimately DoorDashes in the middle of this. Do you think that's how much you think you'd make by doing that DoorDash?
And the simple observation out here, there's pretty much every flag out here except for the flag of the United States of America.
She doesn't have the horn on. She's just screeching.
You can see here on the ground are all the remnants of all the shots, bottles, even bricks that were thrown here on the ground. Police are here. National Guard, nowhere to be seen right now. A few people have been detained. They have them right back there. They have them detained in handcuffs. And now another line is coming through right here. Looks like they're going to trap everybody here inside of this intersection.
Fireworks at a time like this.
People are lighting off fireworks here on the streets. That's extremely dangerous.
Bro, I should have went to this. I should have went to this and then like filmed some of it, walked around, did some filming, and then this way I could write it off my trip there, and then I should have went to Disney. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm so sorry, it's shitty.
Los Angeles has just declared that they're on tactical alert here, which means that anybody who's a part of LAPD needs to be ready to be out here no matter how long of a shift it is. They must be ready because what could break loose tonight or this evening could get extremely intense. These are already intense.
Yeah, I think the night protests are usually much worse.
It seems out here it could get even worse later tonight. What's your message to these police officers out here today?
Quit your jobs! Be the good guys! Stand for what America stands for! Stand for due process! Don't kowtow to these federal cowards! Do what's right! Follow state law! Don't assist ICE! It's pathetic, guys! Get your shit together!
Who should protect the streets in an instance like this when there's a huge protest going on? Should the police even come out?
Protest?
It was getting pretty wild.
I just got fucking work gloves on, oven mitts.
Yo, because they started shooting. I've been here the whole time. They opened fire first.
If people start pushing at the police, what should police do?
Probably get the out of the way.
Just let them go through?
We're not.
Well, they should probably do their job and maintain law and order. I find it's interesting because, like, obviously I understand being frustrated with the police or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're kind of doing their jobs, and like the only reason that you can productively protest is because they're doing their jobs, and so like you feel safe enough to protest. But like ironically, without the police presence, you wouldn't even feel safe enough to do this protest. So you should probably keep that in mind as well.
We're here for them. We're here for the fucking ICE. We're here for the feds. We want them out. LAPD, we got no beef with them. In fact, the governor said that state law dictates that they're not supposed to aid immigration in any way whatsoever.
So do you think
is that true? They're not supposed to aid immigration? Oh, apparently, like, there's a California state law that specifically limits the abilities of Los Angeles Police Department and other local law enforcement agencies in California to assist with federal civil immigration enforcement. I mean, here's the thing. You can disagree with that as much as possible. The problem is if you're a Trump supporter, you voted for Trump to leave it to the states whether they should have abortion laws or not, or what they leave it to the states to have their abortion laws. And so if you're a states' rights person and you believe that each state should be able to manage themselves because you believe that they have the best ability to understand their own needs, and some of those instances might be that they have to cater to some illegal immigrants because maybe they have jobs that need to be worked or whatever the economic benefit is, like you kind of have to just be like, all right, that's the law, we have to let them follow that law, especially since if California just decided to stop paying federal taxes, then most red states would just go bankrupt because they get bankrolled by California. California is one of the very few donor states that gives more to federal taxes than they receive back in federal grants. If they just kept all their money, they would actually be better off. They could potentially deal with their homelessness problem. Same thing in like New York. It's another donor state, I believe. Same thing with like Connecticut and New Jersey. But we keep giving all of our taxes to other states that have a bunch of poor people that like couldn't live without us. So I think it's something to keep in mind. Don't engage in that cognitive dissonance.
The federal government's overstepping their reach coming in here to LA with Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom?
100%. Even Gavin said that.
Who do you trust more, Gavin Newsom or Donald Trump?
I mean, definitely Gavin Newsom, no. I fucking trust him. I trusted a fart after fucking Taco Bell more than I trust Trump, to be absolutely honest with you.
I trust what I see. I don't trust Gavin. Gavin's kind of a scumbag.
And how do you think ICE should carry out with these deportations? They say they're going after the worst of the worst. There's over 20 million.
They're clearly not. They're raiding school graduations. They're raiding workplaces. They're raiding job sites. Those aren't the worst of the worst. Those are employees. Those are people that are contributing to their communities. They're not going after the worst of the worst. That's a fucking lie that's been fed to you by Fox fucking News.
What should they do if someone has an illegal status here, whether they're the most dangerous or if
they should probably leave that to the way that the state wants to deal with it. How do you know that they're illegal unless you allow them to engage in due process? Being here illegally isn't a crime. You know, if they cross the border illegally, it's a crime. But if they're here on an overstayed visa, which I imagine a lot of people in California are, then like you can't just decide to enact in this way. Why wouldn't you let them deal with their own problem?
They're just the dad working.
What do you mean by illegal status? Do you mean undocumented?
Undocumented, illegal, like came over the border illegally.
Because being undocumented in the United States is not a criminal offense; it is a civil offense.
True.
So it's not a crime. It's not a crime. Full stop.
You got shot here today.
He's 100% right. It's not a crime.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad did the bullet hurt?
At first, like a 10 instantly, because he saw me like point blank.
Were you pushing at the police officers, or what were you doing?
Well, obviously, he was instigating with the police officers.
What had happened was, I'm not gonna lie, my girlfriend threw water at her.
You saw a raid at Home Depot. See, that's what I'm talking about. They're talking about getting the worst of the worst out, but they're raiding fucking Home Depot. It's like, dude, what are you doing? You know, you want to get the worst of the worst out. Raid something more productive. Not a fucking Home Depot. It's ridiculous. Go raid a Klan meeting. Like, unironically, it's okay. So it's legal in the United States to have Klan meetings, but we got to go to Home Depot to get these undocumented out. What? Like, don't you think that's kind of cuck shit? That's kind of cuck shit. There's a little bit of cuckery going on here.
But then he like twisted really hard.
You kicked a fucking police officer, asshole.
And then he didn't. I don't know. I
Listen, that girl, I think that girl threw a water
but then
bottle at
he
him.
like
You pushed her. You kicked
twisted
him.
really hard, and then he didn't. I don't know.
He fucked you up.
It was lucky my fault, but I don't know, man. It's not right what they're doing.
And to finish the video, now that protesters have taken over the 110 highway here in the streets of Los Angeles. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give this video a like. I'll be reading your comments down below. This is Nick, and I'll see you guys next video.
The video was decent. That guy wasn't too bad. He was a little... He was. I would say he was productively right-leaning. The only thing that bothered me was the George Soros shit. That part was like weird, because that's like a JQ. Oh, George Soros money? It's like, okay, it's okay for activists to get money from organizations. It's okay to have an organized activist organization. It's not okay for it to get violent, but it is okay to have that. But not a bad video.